Hello everyone, JRDeal96 here with a brand new unboxing. As you can tell by the title, it's CM Punk related and it's Stash Pages related. The last thing we unboxed from Stash Pages is this throwback jacket reminiscent of his Ring of Honor days, which was nice. And I did point out that I ordered another pair of those classic CM Punk shorts and they would be coming at some point. Now, it's been a while, and finally, like last week, at the time of me recording this on the 16th of July, it finally arrived. Pretty quickly, too, so here it is in its little package. I opened it just to make sure it is what it was, so let's get it out. Okay, it just came in this cool little Ziploc package. Nice, and it has like a large label on it, an inseam of 9 inches, large. So here is the classic CM Punk black shorts. Now these are kind of similar to shorts that he wore in Ring of Honor in his indie wrestling days, like in IWA and other indie wrestling promotions across the country that he used to do back in the day before he got signed by WWE. So on one side it has the 3 X's for his straight edge lifestyle, and then on the other side it has just Punk on it. And it has these white, strings to, tie up if it's too loose. This is a large, by the way. So let's try on this shorts now. They fit pretty well, I must say. They do fit pretty well. There are back pockets, just like the other pair that I have right here. The only difference is I bought these on eBay because they were the only place I could find them. I never knew of Stash Pages until I saw them selling this on Twitter, the jacket. So I'm all new to that now. This cost me $120 something, and this was like $50. So I got kind of ripped off a little bit, but they even sell these on their website too. Well, overall, that's really it on this unboxing for the CM Punk shorts. The last time we had any discussions about wrestling was after Clash of the Castle. And what ended up happening was CM Punk was in Chicago, got a warm homecoming, and then Drew McIntyre, quote-unquote, quit Raw. Then came to SmackDown, beat the living hell out of Punk, left him in a bloody heap, and took a bracelet that a fan gave him that had his wife's name and his dog's name on it. Bastard. And then Drew McIntyre's like, I'm going to win the Money in the Bank. He said he was going to win Money in the Bank and then cash in the middle of the Seth Rollins, Damian Priest world title match. Which he did. And then CM Punk ended up coming and screwing him over. Big time. And also Seth Rollins. But that kind of irked me. They kind of just said, fuck the stipulations. And the stipulation was if Damian Priest lost, he would be out of the Judgment Day. And if Seth lost, he would not challenge for the world title as long as Damian Priest is the world champion. CM Punk got involved when Drew McIntyre cashed in. And at some point, he hit Drew with the title. And then Damian Priest took advantage and pinned Drew to retain. Seth Rollins got pissed at Punk, rightfully so, because of that stipulation, when you think about it. So then they do the opening segment on Raw, and Punk, goes into saying, Adam Pearce, can you please, reinstate Drew? Because Drew went off on the post-show, even elbowing Adam Pearce, and then even saying, loudly, I know where your family lives, Punk. Oh boy, I wonder if that's gonna play any role. But then Seth comes out. It was kind of funny when Punk went to commentary while Seth was doing his long ass entrance. We may be here for a while. And then he yells at Michael Cole, you said my government name, what are you doing? That was funny. But also, there was a botch during the actual world title match. Seth hit it like a falcon arrow, and then the ref went 1, 2, and then stopped. Just stopped. For no reason. I don't know if there was bad timing on the music for Drew McIntyre or what. I think that was supposed to be the thing. I think what was supposed to happen is Seth hits the Falcon Arrow. Then the referee starts to count. Then Drew's music hits, and then Drew comes out to cash in his Money in the Bank. Or Damian Priest was supposed to kick out, but he didn't. So there was a little bit of a fuck up there. But Seth ripped into Punk saying, if you get cleared, you're not going to think of Drew. I'm going to take you out for good and stuff like that, which is kind of odd. But then 30 minutes after that segment, Damian Priest and Seth have a backstage segment, and then Damian Priest says, forget the gentleman's agreement. After I'm done with Gunther, you can have another shot. So what was the point of the stipulation? And then he was pissed off at CM Punk for no reason. And then in the end, what was the point of him getting pissed off at CM Punk when they were just gonna, decide to say fuck the stipulation? Because that whole point of Seth Rollins being mad at Punk is for nothing. Like, oh, you're probably saying, oh, they're probably teasing the match. What match? That's gonna happen at next year's WrestleMania? We're in fucking July. You could wait till around Royal Rumble season to do that. Don't do it in the middle of the hottest feud right now, which is Drew and Punk. Drew was on Raw tonight. He wanted Punk, and Adam Pearce was going to give it to him, but he had to apologize to 2 referees. Okay, that's a great idea, Adam. Stupid fuck. They're trying to, keep, this build going and going and going. And I feel like it's going to eventually get to the point where Punk goes, you know what? I'm going to have to do something that you're not going to like. Kind of like how he had to handle things in AEW. Because if you're not going to handle it, I will. And you're not going to like the way I handle things. But the other thing that I mentioned was about the Wyatt group. The Wyatt, Cave Birds or whatever the heck it was at the time we were thinking. But then they debuted on June 17th. And oh boy, was it something. My gosh, it looked like something out of a horror movie. When we all thought that Chad Gable got shot in the head and stuff. So Joe Gacy, Eric Rowan, Dexter Lumis, Nikki Cross, and Bo Dallas are the Wyatt Six, and it's spelled S-I-C-K-S, like sick, like you're sick, but it has an S. It's kind of a reference to the Wyatt Six handle that Bray Wyatt used to have, which was odd before he returned to WWE in 2022. So that's I guess a little bit of a reference to that. And I've seen some of the vignettes where Bo Dallas is talking to Uncle Howdy. I don't get why they're still calling him Uncle Howdy. Uncle Howdy sounds like something you would hear on a cartoon show. He doesn't sound intimidating. Call him something else. Call him more menacing. Call him a more menacing name, not Uncle Howdy. Like, can you imagine a marquee match at WrestleMania? Roman Reigns versus Uncle Howdy. Like, that sounds so terrible. I'm just saying. That's the only nitpick I have. Like, they couldn't think of a different name for Bo Dallas's character. Like, a different character for him. But no, he has to stick with the Uncle Howdy character name, which is stupid. I don't know. That's just my nitpick on it. AEW, man. The Wheel of Excuses. They drew over 500,000 viewers on Juneteenth, and all the excuses in the world. The Black Panther, there was a hockey game, there was an NBA Finals. Hey, Dave, Raw went up against the NBA Finals, and they drew their best rating since the night after WrestleMania. How about them apples? And there was no NHL game that night. It was their off day. It was in the middle of the, Florida Panthers and Edmonton Oilers, Stanley Cup Finals. And it was after game 5 or 6. And it was they had an off day at that time. So there's a good reason. Big Bang Theory wasn't there. And then the second that Big Bang Theory came back on the air, their rating went back to what it was. 670, 690. It was the last one was 691. This is before the 250th episode. I'm not wanting them to fail. I don't want them to fail. I want them to be better. The bloodshed has to cut back. They need to cut back on the bloodshed. We just had MJF turn heel on Daniel Garcia, busting him open, and then the next week you had Mariah May turning on Timeless Toni Storm, cutting her open. It would be more meaningful if we didn't see it every fucking week and we don't have a plumber cutting himself every fucking day. Was Jon Moxley producing these two fucking skits? It's real wrestling. Mercedes faced Stephanie Valkyrie at Forbidden Door, and now Stephanie Valkyrie is now signed with WWE, and people are calling her unprofessional and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, you weren't saying a fucking thing when Sasha Banks and Naomi walked down to WWE. You were calling and saying, "Go, you go, girls." They're sending a message. You're like, it's always anti-WWE, anti-WWE. But whenever it's AEW, that's nothing. Nothing wrong with that. Let's just blame CM Punk. Even if he had nothing to do with it. I think Stephanie Valkyrie decided not to join AEW. She was probably like, you know what, no, I appreciate my time here, even if it's brief, but I actually want to go to WWE. Like, when you really want to admit it or not, whether the neckbeard freakazoids want to admit this or not, WWE is the big time. That's the major leagues. I'm not calling AEW in the minor leagues. You could say a secondary major league. You know, I don't know. But AEW is more of an edgier product. Ran by a coked up Nepo baby that has no idea what he's doing. I'm just sorry. So how is it that Mercedes Moné, who had no match at all leading up to her first match at Double or Nothing for the women's TBS title, but then I can't help but think about the tweet meltdown that freaking Tony Khan had in the beginning of the year about Jinder Mahal and Hook. So I guess it's no problem if the person didn't have a single match leading up to their first match and it's actually for the women's title? Is it because Monet had that creative control? I have no idea. Look, I don't want them to fail. I want them to be better. Start acting like an actual company and not like Chaos. No wonder why Ethan Page left. He called it Chaos over there, and he's been saying that WWE's well established and there's structure there. AEW's run by inmates. The inmates are running the asylum over there. You have, who gives a fuck about the, idiot world order? Who gives a fuck about the Young Bucks, Cody, and Will Ostrich, and Jungle Jack Off Perry? Who gives a fuck? Oh my god, the hypocrisy. So, it's fine when people like Ospreay and people in AEW do all these flippity gymnastics in their matches. But if two girls in NXT like, Kalani Jordan and Soruka do it in their match at Heatwave, it was weird. It was weird. It was Tony Khan. Like, I don't get what's so wrong. Like, God forbid if WWE does it, then that's weird, but it's totally fine if AEW does it and you give it 5 stars. Shut the fuck up. I feel bad for MJF. I feel bad for Sky Blue. I feel bad for everybody there. Like, I want them to be better than this. But they're run by an inept clown that has no fucking idea what to do. He's just a mark. He's just a fucking mark. Anyways, that's really my thoughts on the wrestling world so far. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed today's unboxing. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, share this video with your friends. Be sure to ring that bell to be part of the notification squad. Be sure to check out my Instagram because I make cool some Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, even myself. Iris Reactors of Cosplays on there, so go check it out. And be sure to check out my Tumblr and my Discord in the description as well. So until next time, JRDL96 signing out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.